Hello and welcome to Hey I Like, the podcast where we talk about all the things that make our little neurodivergent brains go bonkers. I am your usual host, Jess, and I am joined today by one of my very good friends. Would you like to introduce yourself and the creatures that you are currently surrounded by?
Yes, sure. Okay. Hi. My name is Void, and I'm currently surrounded by a lot of cows. Hi.
You are surrounded by cows. Can I take that to mean that that is what we are going to be talking about today?
Yes, very likely.
Lots of cows.
Yes, lots of cows. Lots of baby cows.
Tell me all about your cows, because I know you've got a couple of little baby ones, and they're really cute.
Yeah. So I'm working at the barn, dairy barn. So we breed cows to milk them, and yeah, we tend to raise up the girls, and the guys we send off after like a month to
Yeah.
we have mainly the black and white Holsteins here, which we have because they have like the most milk production of like all the different cow breeds that there are. So yeah.
Ooh. Because I know there's loads of different types of cows. Like, because I'm a horse person, and there are lots of different breeds of horses, so I can only imagine how many breeds of cows there are to keep track of. And they all do different things.
Kinda. They are mainly separated into like three different breeds. One of them is like milk breeds. That's like our Holsteins or like Jersey cows. These are very high milk production cows too. Then there are like mixed breeds, which are like for milk and meat production. That are like the Simmentalers. Those are cows with like a completely white head and just colored ears and almost solid colored bodies. Then there are like pure meat production cows. Those are like the Highlands. That's those with those very long hairs. Belgian Blues. Those are the ones that look very fat but are actually like just muscle.
The bodybuilders of the cow world.
Yeah. They look like that because they have like a mutation that causes them to get like double the muscle than they usually should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we watched a video about them in biology once.
They look actually kind of ugly.
Yeah. I didn't want to say that, but they kind of do. I am a big fan of Highland cows personally, but I think that's mostly because they're just fluffy.
Yeah. The babies are especially cute of them.
Yes. Ugh. Out on the fen, they have a load of Highland cows to like graze. They're not used for meat, but because it's quite a fragile environment, I guess, they need animals there who are grazing animals to sort of keep control of the grass and stuff. So they've got some Highland cows and they've got some semi-wild ponies, which is very cool. They had their first foal last week, apparently.
Oh, that's so cute.
I need to go down and have a look when it's not raining and see if I can see this foal. But yeah, so I am a big fan of Highland cows.
Yeah,
they are so
funny
cute.
Little fuzzy creatures.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So our dairy cattle, we have like 240 which are currently being milked. That means they have given birth or are that means those are the ones who have already given birth and just having started milk production. Yeah. And we milk them like twice a day. Which with some is a little bit less than ideal because like they come in and have like really full udders and it kind of hurts them. Which
Aw,
yeah,
poor cows.
but it for the most part it's okay because like they give a lot or kind of an okay amount, like 20 liters a day,
Yeah.
or more, 20 liters a day. I say 20 liters of milking, which is like 40 a day. Freshly cow, fresh cows.
That was a moo.
Moose!
Way! To the people listening at home, we tried for about 10 minutes to get a cow mooing on mic. So this is such an achievement.
Yeah. And they are currently making a noise because newborn has gotten up and is walking around now. So yeah, kind of excited.
So you were saying
Ouch.
about how many liters a day you get out of a cow.
So normal is like 14. Like once with a high production, they can get up to 50 or 60 liters a day, though, which is like very, very high production.
There's another moo. But yes, that is definitely more milk than anyone can drink in a day.
And probably way more than a little calf could drink, which is also a reason why we separate them after birth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another reasons are because sometimes cows are like very clumsy and they can accidentally step on them, and that's not good. We don't want the little ones to get hurt, so yeah. It's also to better manage the health of the little cows, because they tend to get pretty sick in the first couple of weeks with like diarrhea or a lung or like some breathing issues, and yeah, to catch it early and able to manage it so it quickly goes by. It's also a reason we separate them.
Yeah. Because I think that's one of the things that like vegans especially get really upset about. Is like, oh, to get the milk you have to separate the cow from the calf and it's so bad for them and blah 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 blah. It's so cruel, they should be with their mother. And it's like, well, actually sometimes it's a good thing.
Yeah, especially if it's like a kind of small cow with a very low udder.
Yeah.
The cow is pretty big. It probably takes over a day until it figures, oh, there's the milk bar. Yeah,
Aww.
so it's kind of better to separate them. Then you can also see how well and how much it keeps them drinking. So you can also by that quickly catch how the cow is doing. You can also keep an eye on the health of the cow. Better the cows like they can pretty easily get like some issues with the udder, especially after calving.
Yeah.
If she isn't milked properly, and that's going to hurt. Then she kicks the calf off. The calf doesn't get feed, starves. Okay, I'm going away. Yeah, I don't think the cow likes me being near the calf.
That's fair enough.
Yeah,
That's
so
its baby.
yeah, so the separation is mainly to like make sure both of them stay healthy, they don't get hurt in that sense, and so on and so forth. um yeah.
Yeah.
Um yeah. And like I said before, the boys are getting sold um to another place for the meat, which is basically then just for them to get milk or like milk replacer for a little while longer until they're only on to feed. Where they then only taking like feed, which is like a mix of grass, hay, straw, and grains, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. And only after then they are getting back they're getting produced into meat that isn't like how some people might think that we are taking them away and after a month they are becoming meat. That's like not at all what's happening.
No.
Yeah.
It's
So
important to look after the cows. They're
yeah,
having a good life. They are just then also being used for meat, which is fine.
yeah. It's like nature, right? Because
Yeah.
like in the wild, they will be getting eaten.
Yeah.
There are wolves out there. They could eat the little one who is born like a few weeks too early and can't get up right away.
Yep. It's
And
why foals all get up within half an hour. Because
yeah,
if they don't, they're gonna die.
exactly. I mean, even if they are like in a barn, there could still be some places where predators will come in, and well, that just isn't good for them. Yeah. So it's kind of important for some breeds like the Holsteins that the covers are separated to actually give them a chance, right?
Yeah.
Even if they're being kind of small, they could get that back up in a little while. So yeah. Um. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Of the Holsteins, there are actually two kinds of Holsteins. One, the more familiar black and white Holstein,
Yeah.
Holstein, or the red ones. Those are mostly also Holsteins.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're kind of like two breeds. In the past they have like killed off the red calves, which is why the red gene isn't that often. Why you don't see red cows like so often around, because they like thought that this was like something bad, that they are red and not black. But they have become like their own kind of like a subgroup of breeds. But they like can still be crossbred with like black ones, and yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. The red gene is actually a recessive one, which means that the parents either both have to be red or have to carry the red gene for a chance that the calf is becoming red. So it gets like 2 copies of the gene and it turns out red.
Yeah.
Which is like the only reason why a black cow could get like a red calf, which is like a kind of rare thing, 1 in 4% chance if she has the genes and if the father somehow carries the genes too. Oh god, it's feeding time. Sorry, it's getting loud. It's feeding time.
It's okay. Tell me about feeding the cows.
Well, since we have quite a few cows, since we have like a lot of cows, we have like a truck with like a feeding mixer and machine, where we mix like the grains and stuff together, the whole feed with like the silage and stuff, and then we can drive into the barns and feed and like give from the groups the feed into like a whole like all at once, like mixed, and like the groups all get kind of different feeds, like ones who have like still a very high milk production or like have to grow quite a bit, like the ones who are like the pea, like the calves who are like only getting feed and not milk anymore. They need like a lot of proteins and stuff from the feed, so they either keep their high milk production up or they are keep on growing, which is very important for them, else that stunts their growth or their milk production goes down, and it's really hard to get it back up, or like maybe impossible if it keeps on for like way too long.
Yeah.
The depending on their stand in the lactation, like if they're bred already or if they're pregnant already, that they're getting taken off of the high high protein in and grain portion of the feed, and so the milk production goes down, so they can be dried up with little to no problem. With little to no problems, and that they don't end up getting some problems while they're being dried, because that's a time where they tend to get where they can also get sick, because sometimes they still produce stuff, and if it doesn't get out, it can infect itself, so that's not a good thing, because one, it really hurts the cow. Sometimes those sickness can get onto the calf too, which can cause like that she loses the calf, and yeah, if she loses the calf, then she doesn't really get into milk production anymore, and yeah, she's basically then just a whole loss, which is not good, because like
No.
we need them to produce babies, we need them to produce like milk and all, and if they can't, that's not a good thing. Yeah. But often it's going good, where they give at least one calf of that's alive too, and yeah, they end up getting into milk, which is it's, or when they're like dry, they get like just very little of like the energy that they will need, which is mainly just used to like for them to grow the cows and to stay alive, basically. But it still has like the the stuff included in like the high ration, but like in a very small amount. So the stomach still keep being used to it. Because like if they like don't get used to if they don't stay used to those things, the germs in the stomach, who are responsible for like digesting the stuff, die off, and it takes like weeks before they are actually being able before they are like able again to like get into the production, and that's just not good either. So the feed is very important, and it's also very important to keep it in high quality. Yes, high. And mwah. And yeah, it's also important to keep like the quality up, because if it's like bad quality, because it's like moldy and stuff, the cows get sick. If they're sick, we need to give them meds. The meds make it so we can't sell the milk of the cows. Oh, so they don't really give like any money during the time where they are sick. And yeah, we need to keep them as healthy as possible, so they can like stay healthy, keep making us money and stuff. Hello. Yeah, I know you all love me. Oop. I'm not something you to eat. I'm so sorry. Ugh. Yeah, so it's all kind of important that you keep like the feed clean, that they always have like access to water, and that the water is also clean. Else, yeah, they're going to be like they're going to be sick. Milk production gets down again, and so on and so forth. Um, yeah. Hello. Ah, not my nose.
Always the noses.
Excuse me.
It's always the noses
Always the noses and the mouses.
and the mouth.
Treat me. Huh? Whoa, hi. Okay, no, you want scratches. Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah. In since I've talked a lot about like the milk production, the rule of thumb is that like a Holstein cattle should produce like 1,000 liter in one lactation.
Nice.
Or like no wait no 10,000 in a lactation. No wait 10,000 in one lactation, but it's usually better if they have like a lower one, like 70 or 80,000 liter in a lactation, because like if they're already like in the 10 or 11,000 liter range, they usually don't have like a very long life. So like it's better for them to get like slowly into it over like 2 lactations or so, and then they get like 11 or 12,000. Yes, hello. I have 2 big heads on the left and the right of me, which is yeah why I have like a lot of trouble. Hi baby, hi my tough.
Aw, tell me about Toph. Or
Oh,
tell
yeah.
the listeners at home about Toph. I already know all about her.
Well, Tough is like Tough is currently still a heifer. That means a cow who didn't have given birth yet, which is like from the first time they have been bred, which is like at around 1.5 years old, till they given birth. That's what a heifer is.
Yep.
Who was like a twin, who was a twin calf with another girl. Which is the only reason why she was able to be bred, because like if they are a twin pair with a boy and a girl, then the girl oftentimes is infertile, which means that she can't breed, and yeah, it just wouldn't make it wouldn't really make sense if we would try to breed her, and with a 90% chance that she's infertile, it's just I isn't a good chance for her to actually be able to be what we need them to be. Yeah, so we usually raise them up to like a cattle that to a young animal that can that's on feed and off milk, and then they tend to get processed into meat, which just means that they still have long life, but just not one that we could give them. Yeah, so Tough was lucky enough to be with another girl, but she was like the smaller and weaker one of the pair, where she couldn't get up at all, or just with help, and would only stand for like a minute or so before she laid down again, and didn't have much of a I'm talking about you, and didn't have like I didn't have like much of a sucking reflex, but still had the sucking and swallowing reflex. So I fed her like 3 days for like 3 days, 3 times a day with like a liter of milk, until then one day she stood up. Mwah! She stood up and yelled at me because she was hungry. When I walked past her little box. Hey. Yeah, and that time I still gave her a bottle, and then I slowly trained her onto a bucket, which she really well took in. Yeah, and yeah, with time, she got better. She wasn't doing that bad either, and yeah, she ended up growing real well, even though it was like a little slower than the rest, but that's to be expected from like one who was already small. But now she's being bred and is carrying a baby, becoming a mother. Mwah. Yeah. So yeah. To me, I kind of think that you should give even the small ones kind of a chance, because like they still can do, because like they still can get better,
Yes.
and like not being like out of them isn't going to become anything anyway, we shouldn't give them any meds or anything, and yeah, that's not something that I really agree with.
I think that's something that can be applied to all creatures, including humans.
Yeah, like it's best to give one a chance, unless it's like just suffering, for example, when they're born without a butthole. But that's the thing that I witnessed too. Like the calf had only drunk like the first time I fed it, but then it didn't, cause it didn't have a butthole and it couldn't get rid of all of the waste.
Yeah.
Don't look at me like that. It's something that can happen. Those are my boogers. Get away from my nose. Yeah. So yeah, if it's unnecessary suffering, then it's probably best if they are going to get put down.
Hmm.
Yeah. But usually I think that you should give them a chance, and well, if it doesn't get better, then well, it just doesn't. Like it's sad, but that's just the way of life.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be alive if they're like just a nature, but like humans, we humans handle a lot around with like nature, where we, for example, like with dogs, where we take like the weaker ones and still raise them up, and they're being great, great baby. Yeah. So I think it's kind of important to give even the smaller ones a chance, and not just being like death instant, because they aren't going to get us any money. Yeah.
It's not all about the money.
Yeah, I think it's just being like I feel like, I mean, it kind of is about the money, but also you have to be like, okay, this is going on for like just a little while. We can still try to make it better, and usually it works. Oh, hello, to be pregnant. um, there was a cow jumping on another cow, which is like, yeah, it's like a very clear sign that they are in time where they can be bred.
So are they still inside for the winter, or have they been let out yet?
They're still inside a barn, and and yeah, so they aren't being let out yet, especially because it's like still kind of wet over here, and
Yeah.
would just not be good for their little hoofs.
I mean, it's wet here as well.
Yeah.
It very much is still wet here as well. I went to go turn the pony out this morning and was sliding about in the mud. So
Oh dear. Yeah, but like for cows, like the wet weather is like even less ideal for them, because it can like soften the hooves, and then they can get bacteria, or they can get hurt easier
yeah,
when they step into a stone, and that hurts them, and that's going to take money if it too, if they are lame for her however long, depending on how bad their hooves are. Isn't it right, tough? Yeah. So yeah, not letting them out it is probably a uh better thing, even though it's like kind of meh,
yeah,
because they will need the sun and stuff too. Right, tough? Mwah. Mwah. Yeah, so although we sometimes have like troubles with like the pasture, in the sense of when we have like ones who are pregnant already, that they are like being, I don't know, a few weeks too early, and then they calve on the pasture, and then we have trouble getting them into the barn, even though we have the calf with us, because they think, oh god, my calf is still in the pasture. Give it, I don't want to leave the calf, and yeah, that's kind of fun if like all of us have to come to try and get that one specific animal up into our barn, so we can take care of them, so they can be milked, right, Puff? Right. But like usually they really enjoy being on pasture, even though they need like a few days until they get, oh wait, that stuff on that stuff on the ground, oh, that's like up to my belly, I can eat that. Because they are like not really used to have like the green feed, and more like just what we mix them together with with like the silage and stuff. So they aren't really used to it, but usually they pretty quickly figure out that they can eat that. And they kind of enjoy getting treats too. Like I know that some really like bananas, including the peel, or like honey melon, which they're going really hard for too. Yeah. But like currently we don't even have really the grass for them to go out either, so it wouldn't really make sense mm, uh, from like nutritional standpoint of that we let them out because like there isn't really anything that they could eat or that could keep them like fat or stuff, because it's like just very short and not very nutritional stuff. Hello. Yeah. So we kind of have to keep that in mind too. And most of the cows aren't really used to like the electric fence either, which would make it also kind of hard to like let them out right now because like they aren't used to it. So the likelihood of them just running through it are way higher too. And that isn't fun to try and get them back in because they know that it's hurt when they're going through that, even though they're already gone through that, and they don't want to come back. So yeah, that's thing why they aren't on pasture right now either. Although I kind of think that it would be like not that bad of an idea if we have like the younger ones from like half a year or two up to a year and a half behind the barn to let them out behind the barn on the little bit of pasture we have there. So you know they are used to the fence. They know, okay, if I get on there, it hurts. I should stay in. I should stay in it because I'm getting because there's food in there. We have water and all that. So yeah, so but they're already used to it. Even if we let them out in a later point. So yeah.
You don't have any escapees then?
Yeah, so the chances of like escapees is like way lower than like if they like never were used to the fence and suddenly we let them out. They see they see everywhere is green, and then they're like, why should I be there if over there is even longer grass? And then they are running through the fence. Hi, you want my hand? Yes, of course you want to.
Yeah, just because I know that like my pony is an escape artist. She can get out of just about any field, even when it's got electric tape. She goes under it. But so it's good to know that the cows have slightly more common sense.
It depends on the cow, actually. After they are like 1.5 years old, our heifers they are getting here in like our breeding group where we are going to keep an eye on them, that they're showing like signs that they're in heat, like for example what I mentioned way here with the jumping on another cow, or if they are getting jumped on and they're staying in place and don't try to flee. It's also kind of a sign that they are in heat and ready to breed. But then you also had to keep an eye on if they're big enough, because like sometimes they are still kind of small and probably should wait a month or two until they're actually getting until like one attempts to breed them, because like if they're too small, it can give later when they give birth kind of troubles when they try to give birth, because like they're small, the calf can be pretty quick, pretty big, and yeah, that just isn't a good thing.
No.
No. Like they probably try to get it out because it hurts, but they probably it's probably only with a lot of tearing and stuff, and it's likely that the calf doesn't really survive it either if the cow is like too small and the calf is too big. So yeah, it kind of has to fit better. I'm so glad you're eating out of my hand. You know that. Yeah. So yeah. But even with our heifers, it's like that they sometimes doesn't catch with like the first heat. So they have like so like they're getting bred of a total of like 3 times until we say okay, she probably doesn't really want to get pregnant. She really is unable to get pregnant in that sense. So we are sending them off then too, because usually they tend to get too old and way too fat that they actually could like give birth without like problems. Because like if they are too fat, some issues with birthing are also able to happen, like that they push like some of their organs out too during birth or like shortly after birth, which is like not something you want to happen to have happen.
No. All organs should remain inside the body.
Exactly. And like it kind of sucks if you come to work at like 3 in the morning, check if a cow calves, and oh no, uh, oh no, one gave birth and their organ, and one of her organs is out too. Shit, we have to wake our poor wet in bed early, and she takes a long time to get to us, and yeah.
Yeah.
I mean it's still possible to get it like back in, and so it's still back in place and all that, but it's like a lot of stress for the cow. It's very likely that she's getting that she gets an infection from it, depending on how long it is, and yeah, it's just not a good thing to happen for them. So we kind of try to avoid making them too fat, so they don't have like the issues. Hey. Yeah, but usually we have here like it's pretty okay with the birthing. We usually don't need to help with the cows or heifers, because the calves are relatively small compared to them, or like in the okay size. Even though still sometimes we have like some issues, like when they come with the hind legs first, that we have to help out, or if like the mother has like taken like way too long already to get it out. So we usually have to help, and then before the calf and the cow can't anymore. So like the calf doesn't like drown or suffocate it in the mother during the birthing when it takes too long. So yeah, we sometimes have to help, but luckily it's not that often. Often the mothers tend to be able to push it out either during the night or during the day when we usually don't really keep an eye on them because we're either at home and asleep or well at home and doing like lunch and stuff because we have here like a split shift where we have to come twice a day to do our stuff. So yeah. After the cows give birth, we they say in like an extra in an extra group still where cows we like can't really milk the first milk in, and because we feed that was more to the calves the colostrum. We did to the calves because it has like the antibodies to like stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because it's like very fatty and they don't really give that much anyway, so we're like just keeping that for like the cows, like the calves. And in the very first time um we like freeze some of it in the fridge too, so we have something for the next time one gives birth. So yeah, so we can like be sure that they've gotten all of the stuff that they need because it's like very important for them to get it so they don't get that sick that easily and get some immunization. Such a stupid word. To after like yeah, so they're staying around like 5 or 6 days in the group. The first time moms usually stay longer than that in the group because they tend to not really like being milked and tend to be very mm, very mad about getting milked, which understandable. They don't know why I grab their udders and try to get milk out because like it's meant for the calves. So why is this stupid human trying to steal it from me, right? So yeah, they usually take some more time to get out because we have to teach them to like keep standing still, not kicking for us, not kicking the milking machine off like halfway before they're fully milked out because that can give them an other infection too and stuff. So yeah, they usually stay a bit longer before they get like in the fresh milk group where they are getting milked into our tank, which is the milk that we are selling to. Um, after like um, after like 2 or 3 months after they given birth, depending on how high their production is, their milk production is, they're getting bred again for the first. They're getting bred again for the first time after giving birth. But before that, we have to make sure that that the cow is like healthy, doesn't have any problem with her uterus or stuff. Yeah, so that you can actually get pregnant and give and keep the calf if she's catching the first time. Then yeah. Um. Yeah. After she gives birth, after after that usually if she doesn't catch the first time in around 21 days, we see it again that she's like that she's either jumping on other cows, letting others jump on her. Or sometimes they yell too because they want to be bred. So we're trying that again. But if that isn't the case, after like 1.5 months, we are getting the vet to check with like the ultrasound with an ultrasound machine to check if they are pregnant or if they have like a cyst or something, which would also mean that they can't and give like the signs that they want to be bred. So yeah, but more often than not, it tends to be that the cow has catched the one breeding and is pregnant now and is carrying a calf. Yeah. And usually the vet with the ultrasound machine can also tell if one has like multiple but multiple calves in them, which which is mostly just like true. But I don't think she can really tell if it's like a boy or a girl just then, and it's more of a oh yeah, she has multiple because like inside of the cow they're in one sack and they can't really tell if it's like one egg that turned it into two calves or two eggs that are like in two different calves. So yeah, that's kind of making it hard to tell too. But yeah, usually they don't lose the calf after that, but sometimes it still happens, and it's kind of hard to catch that because they tend to be very small in that moment. But yeah, the later it is, the more likely we're able to find it. But that is what like those late term losses are like pretty rare to almost non-existent. And even then, we kind of take a look at how much milk she still produces us, and like how much she's and like how far she's away from like her last breeding, and depending on all that we're like giving her still a chance to breed again, but sometimes we like give her like a meat breed on them to catch that. So like those Belgian blues who are kind of ugly, we either take egg on which is because they are more likely to catch a breeding with a different breed than like with the same oftentimes. But we like kind of also have to look at how the cow is looking. If she's like a very small, we can't like put a Belgian blue on her because the cows tend to be pretty big too, and that's going to hurt if it's trying to come out. Yeah. So we kind of have to take everything into consideration before we're breeding them if she just happens to have lost it. So yeah, we also kind of have to keep an eye on them. Yeah. So if they are pregnant and they are staying pregnant, we're like taking them off like the high energy feed so we can dry them up like 2 or 3 months away from the next calving thing. And so which is so they can concentrate on just rearing the cows and stuff, and not having to worry about like still producing milk. So so we dry them up, and then they are getting like just enough so they stay healthy, and they can grow the calf. Then the closer they get to the calving, they get like a higher a higher a higher more higher energy ration, which is just so which is just ah which is just so they can get prepared to give milk again, put on a bit more weight on themselves, because like giving birth is taking energy, getting into milk is costing a lot of energy too, and so on and so forth. And then the circle of giving birth and getting milk is starting all over again. Yeah. And usually after like the third or fourth lactation, they tend to be like quite old for like the standards, because they tend to get like not produce it that well anymore, or they have like some other issues going on with them, with like the hooves, or like the udder, or something else, where they're getting butchered, where they are getting butchered because they can't be used that much for like the milk production anymore. So yeah, we kind of have to take an eye of them. But usually when they're like when they have like their third or fourth calf, we tend to give them a bit of we tend to give them some calcium too, because they tend to take it from the bones and muscles, and that causes in like the higher pregnancies that they're getting into a milking fever, which is like not good, because like it means that they can't get up, get cramps because of that. And yeah, to prevent that, we are giving them a calcium cartouche in, so that doesn't happen. But if it happens, we have like an infusion bottle that we can give them to, and usually that helps with only like one bottle, and so on and so forth. And it's actually meant for our dairy calves, that they get like 4 lactations in, and it happens more often than not that they can do that, but everything over that is like a positive surprise. Although we currently have a grandma in our barn who is like on her 10th or 11th lactation. So like she's pretty old. She's almost having her 100,000 liter milk, which is like very much for a Holstein cow to have produced, which is great, very great. She's very old and not very friendly, but she's okay with us like working with her and stuff. Just not really a fan of like humans.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
She doesn't really give a fuck about us. But luckily, she's doing pretty well despite her age and stuff. And yeah, I'm currently not too sure if she is currently pregnant or not, but I know that she has been bred because she's still doing so good, and Yeah. And it's like, well, if she's still doing good, then why shouldn't we breed her? But like, if she had like issues with like her hoofs, or she wasn't doing so well in general, we wouldn't have bred her anymore. So yeah. It's like you aren't forcing them, you aren't like abusing them to get like to those high numbers, because we're like more likely, if they have like a constant problem with like their hooves or their udder, or they don't produce that much, we are more likely to say like, okay, we're sorting them out. She's getting sent away, which means more likely budget, more than we're thinking like, oh no, we should print her 60,000 times more until she gets a calf, which is like not really a thing we will do, because it's can like um because like breeding them, because we don't usually send them to our breeding pool. That's going to cost a lot of money, because we have like um we have like where we have like a guy coming, and he treats the cows with like little spurts of semen that have been taken from other bulls. I currently don't know them from that. So yeah, that's kind of a thing that we have to keep in mind too. Which is why we don't like breed them for 10 times unless they still have like a really high milk production out
Yeah.
there. Yeah, else we are saying, okay, it was nice knowing you, but we can't keep you anymore. But more often than not, other issues are coming up, so we have to take. So that's more likely an issue why we sort them out than like than like when we than like them not being able to get pregnant. It's actually more likely that they're getting into a higher age, and less like the milk production is like really not something that well, like when they're only like giving in 10 liters right after giving birth, or like even a few weeks after giving birth, we're more likely, and she isn't like a first time mom, we're more likely to say, okay, that isn't working with you, you have to leave. Although one time it happened where a cow has gotten like a lot other sick a lot of times, so she was like unable to produce like look on like two brothers on like
That
brothers.
was a very good moo.
Was a baby that made moo.
That was a fantastic moo.
Do you want to say moo again? Say moo. Oh, okay, then not. Yeah, but like she still had quite a high production, even though she had like only two brothers that were able to produce. So and she was pregnant already anyway, so we kind of were like, okay, we're going to keep her, we're letting her go, see how she's doing then. And she did have a high production like the whole time, but after she given birth, it was like, I'm not doing that anymore. I can't give that much milk anymore on two brothers. I'm sorry, I don't want to be here anymore, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like she did good for the time she was with us, even if it was like quite a short time. Yeah, they can sometimes be very high producers, even though you wouldn't expect that necessarily. So yeah, but after that, she didn't like really got into a second or third lactation anymore after that happened.
Yeah. So tell me your favorite thing about the cows, or your favorite fact, or something.
My favorite thing about cows is the fact that they can like remember people or everything up to a year, or like if I'm not going to see let's say Tough for a year, right? And then I'm coming back, it's likely that she's still remembering me and still going to come up to me asking for pets and stuff, because she still remembers. Oh, right, that's the person who saved my life when I was born.
Aww,
Yeah. So
baby.
yeah. So they do remember. So yeah, they do remember the people who took care of them, or like who has been mean to them, and yeah, and yeah, like like if you're being mean to a cow, like hit them one time for like without a real reason, they remember that and they're not going to like you at all. They are going to try and run from you. They're going to kick after you, and
Yes,
not going to like you at all. So yeah, the
I
fact
love
that
that. I
yeah,
love that they remember things, because
yeah,
like, I don't know, I feel like they're the kind of animal that people assume they don't remember things, and that they're just big stupid creatures. And they're
yeah,
not. They have feelings and
yeah,
brains, and they remember things.
yeah. They remember things. Like for example, when I'm getting down to like our young animals and heifer and like heifer run again, I'm going to see which animals remember me, because they like try to come up to me, up to the gates and stuff, and are going to ask for pets, like um like like when I'm being here, they are going to look at me because they know who I am. Sometimes they are going to stick their heads up to me, like they know that I was doing good to them. Like they know that I'm not, that I haven't really been an asshole unless I had to give them like medicine because
Yeah.
they're sick. They know I've been generally nice to them, right?
Yeah. So obviously, even though you're probably not meant to, I assume you have a favorite cow. Do cows also have favorite people?
I'm pretty sure they do. Like the people who like treat them nice, or like if they know who feeds them, that's going to be like the favorites. Like
Yeah.
for example, if I'm now going up to like Tough, and if like another guy is like in there, she probably would rather come to me than to the other guy, even though he would have like treats, because like I'm a favorite person. She knows me,
Yeah.
that I'm not going to hurt her and stuff. So yeah, which is also
Ah.
like, which is also funny if like the vet comes and has to do like stuff on them, and like the vaccination, and they know that bitch hurt me before. She gave me a little painful poke with a needle. I don't like her. They
Yeah.
that too, and they do not want to have anything to do with them.
Of course. So what I'm getting from this is cows are basically just oversized dogs.
Yes, they are, and I'm pretty sure
Which
you.
I love.
Yeah, and I think you can teach them tricks, but like you will have to keep like up with that,
Yeah.
with training them.
I've seen people take cows like show jumping,
Yeah,
which is kind of wild to watch.
yeah, but they can do that if they
They
want
can do
to.
it.
They can do it. You can do it if you want to do. Yeah. So
You should teach Toph how to show jump.
I think she's a bit too old to do that. Besides, if I teach her that, she probably is going to end up being an escape artist. So I don't really want to
Yeah,
risk.
maybe not the best idea.
But it would be funny.
It would be funny.
It would be funny.
I would pay actual money that I don't have to see that, so.
Yeah.
And on that note, we can wrap up now, I think.
Okay.
It's been really lovely hearing you talk about your cows. I love your cows so much. You'll have to send me all the photos. But yes, you can lead us out. I guess our biggest exciting plug for this wrap up is that as of whenever this episode goes up, we will have a YouTube channel.
Woo!
So
Exciting.
if you hate Spotify or whatever platform you're listening to us on, you can listen to us on YouTube. Personally, I despise listening to anything on YouTube. If I'm on YouTube, it has to be a video, not a podcast episode, because YouTube won't play things if you switch tab. But if you are not me and you like listening to podcasts on YouTube for whatever reason, we have a channel that currently has no videos on it because I haven't figured out how to make them yet. But it's just the name of the podcast. You can search for Hey I Like, and it is there. There is an exclamation mark after the hey, just like in our actual podcast name. It's very easy to find, I promise.
Yeah.
So yeah, and with that done, Void, would you like to wrap us up and take us out? If you have any more stuff about cows to share, now is your time to do it.
No, I'm actually good, I think. So yeah, that was my talk about cows, and yeah.
I
Does
love your
anyone
cows.
does any one of you want to say something? Like woo or something? Okay, no. No one wants to say something.
That was a no.
Yeah. Shame.
They don't do things just because you ask them to.
Probably not, no.
But yeah, so thank you for telling me all about your cows. You'll have to give me updates on all the cows that we have talked about in this episode, because then I can go on the blog and post updates on the cows for everyone who is interested in them.
Maybe if I can I'm pretty sure I can take a few I think I can find a few more pictures of Toph when she was a little tiny itty bitty cow.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I sometimes have bullied her during the Christmas time with a Santa hat. I put a Santa hat. Yeah. So if I can find the pictures, I'm going to spam you with them.
Okay then. So people listening at home, watch this space for some very, very cute pictures of Toph the cow. I'm waiting very impatiently for them. And with all of that done, I think it might be goodbye from us.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. If you've made it all the way to the end, congrats! You are officially much stronger than half of our friends. If you are enjoying listening to this podcast, please subscribe to get notified when we update, or follow us on Tumblr at HeyILike, all lowercase. That's all for now. See you next time on Hey, I Like.